guys, welcome back to Your Mindset, Your Power. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat in silence without reaching for your phone? Not scrolling just for a second, not checking one more notification. I mean really sitting there with your own thoughts. Because if we are being honest, most of us can't do it anymore, right? We wake up and before our feet hit the ground, we are already consuming. We're checking messages, emails, news, social media, before we have even checked in with ourselves. And here's the scary part. It feels normal. It feels productive. It feels like we're staying connected. But in reality, we have never been more distracted, more overwhelmed, and honestly, more disconnected from each other than ever, right? And let me be clear, this is not an anti-technology episode. No, my friend, technology is incredible. It connects us, it teaches us, it makes life easier. But the problem is not just the phone. It's how it's affecting our brains and how it might be quietly taken from us. So today, we're going to talk about why your brain is getting hooked on your phone, why it's quietly affecting your relationships, why it's stealing something deeper, your sense of meaning, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Because this, my friend, is not about throwing your phone away. No, it's about finding the balance so it doesn't take over your life. And maybe you're thinking, is it really that bad? Well, let me give you a little perspective. Recent studies show that nearly half of adults today feel addicted to their phones. And on average, we're checking our phones dozens, even hundreds of times a day. Just imagine that for a second, my friend. How many times your attention gets pulled away in a single day? And this is not just about adults. We're seeing this pattern showing up in younger generations too. And when you start to see the bigger picture, this is not just about a device anymore. It's about what it's doing to our brains. So let's simplify this. Your brain is not broken. No, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that's where the problem starts. Every time you check your phone, you might get something good, a message, a like, a notification, something new. And your brain goes, oh, that felt good. Let's do that again. That, my friend, that's dopamine. And dopamine is not happiness. It's the anticipation of something that might feel good. Then that infinite scroll begins. And here's what experts like Dr. Arthur Brooks, a Harvard professor who studies happiness and human behavior, explains. It's not the reward that hooks you. It's the unpredictability, the slot machine effect. Sometimes you play and you get something. Sometimes you don't. But that's what keeps you going back. That next video, that next post. It could be boring, it could be hilarious, or even shocking. And that unpredictability is what keeps your brain scanning for the next reward. And now your brain is trained. And before you know it, you're hooked. And it's not just distraction, my friend. It's disconnection from yourself and from people. And listen, I've been guilty of this too. Having my phone on the table, checking notifications that keep popping up. It's exhausting, right? And it's not even polite. We're physically in the same space, but mentally somewhere else. Until I realized how much it was taking from me. Time, focus, peace, energy, and most importantly, the connection with the people I love. So I chose to turn the notifications off. And let me tell you, it changed everything. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, my friend, so you can become aware that there are options. You don't have to live pulled in every direction all day. Now, there is another part is critical to become aware, and it's how it's affecting the real human connection. You have probably felt this before. You're talking to someone and they say, yeah, yeah, I'm listening. But they are on their phone. And in that moment, you don't feel heard. You don't feel important. You feel secondary, right? And I've experienced that in my own life too, because we are all navigating this, right? We are all trying to be present while something in our pocket is constantly pulling us away. And there is something I've become very aware of as well, the importance of eye contact. Looking at someone when they're speaking. It sounds so simple, but it's so important. When someone looks at you in the eyes, you feel seen, you feel heard, valued. You feel like what you're saying matters. Because when that is missing, even if it's subtle, connection starts to break. It's like trying to have a conversation while there's a wall between you. You can hear each other, but you're not really with each other. And when this becomes our normal, my friend, it doesn't just affect our conversations and connection. No, it starts to affect something deeper. It starts to affect how we experience our lives and how we find meaning in them. You will also hear from Dr. Brooks when he says we need space in our lives to actually ask ourselves very important questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What really matters to me? What kind of life do I want to build? But here's the problem. If every quiet moment is filled, you never get to those questions. You're waiting in line, you grab your phone. You're sitting in your car waiting for someone, you grab your phone. You're walking and instead of connecting with nature, you grab your phone. And those small moments, they used to be thinking moments before our attention was constantly interrupted. Moments when we were creative, reflection moments, even uncomfortable moments that led to clarity. But now we escape them. And that's why you can spend hours on your phone and it still feel like something is missing after. Have you ever done that? You scroll and scroll and scroll, and then you put your phone down and you don't feel better. You actually feel drained, exhausted. Yep, I felt that too, my friend. Because what you're getting was stimulation, not fulfillment. Stimulation is fast, it's quick, it's easy. But meaning takes presence. It takes being in your life, not escaping it. And also, Dr. Brooks explained, real meaning is found in love, service, and real connection, not from online stimulation. Think about it like this. Scrolling is like snacking all day. Quick hits, easy, always available, but it never really satisfies you. Meaning, instead, that's a real meal, something that actually nourishes you. It takes time, it takes intention, but it actually fills you up and is enjoyable. And this brings me to something most of us try to avoid: boredom. We've been taught that boredom is a bad thing. So the moment it shows up, we feel it. But what if boredom is actually the space your mind needs, especially now? Because the second there's a quiet moment, we reach for our phones, right? And we don't even question it anymore. It's automatic. But boredom is not the problem, my friend. Constant stimulation is. When your brain is always stimulated, it's always reacting. But when you remove that input, your mind finally has space. And that's where clarity starts to show up. That's where you start thinking for yourself. And in my own life, let me tell you, my best ideas don't come when I'm on my phone. No, they come when I'm in silence or walking without distractions or even in the shower. That's when everything flows. That's when I get the best ideas for my podcast. Try it, my friend. Just a few minutes. No phone, no noise, and you're giving your mind space. And that's something most of us don't allow anymore. And there is another part of this that I've been thinking about a lot, and that's the next generation. Because kids and teens are getting access to phones earlier than ever, right? And they're growing up in a world where constant stimulation is just normal. Screens, instant access, constant input. That's the environment they're being raised in. And we're starting to see how that is affecting them. Research is linking constant screen exposure to things like less sleep, more anxiety, and more difficulty staying focused and present. And that part matters because those moments of boredom, of playing, of figuring things out on their own, that's where kids learn how to handle frustration, regulate emotions, and connect with other people in real life. And when those moments are replaced by constant stimulation, they lose time in those experiences. And this is not about fear, my friend, it's about awareness. So for parents, this matters more than ever. If a phone is always present, if attention is always divided, that becomes their normal. And that becomes their version of what connection looks like. Now, if you're listening to all this and thinking, okay, so now what? What can I do about it? Well, let me give you a list of small shifts that you can start practicing right away. I'm working on those every single day and they're really helping. So let's go. Shift number 1. Start with your mornings. Give yourself a little space before the world comes in. No phone first thing. Ideally is 1 hour, but even 10-15 minutes help, my friend. Just you, your thoughts, your prayers, your presence, your intentions. Shift number 2. At night, protect your mind. Instead of ending your day with noise, give your brain a chance to slow down. Experts say avoid blue light at least 1 hour before bedtime because it will help you sleep better. Shift number 3. During meals, be present. Even if it's just 1 meal a day, no phone, just connection. Shift number 4. Let yourself be bored. Sometimes it's okay. Not every moment needs to be filled. It's okay to simply be present with your thoughts and watch how that will boost your creativity, my friend. Shift number 5. Take a look at what you're consuming, who you follow, what you watch, what you listen to. Not everything deserves your attention. Be intentional about what you allowed in your space. And this is something I've done in my own life. Listen, I've cleaned up my feed. So now when I scroll, I'm learning. I'm consuming things that I actually chose, things that align with me, with what I do, and support what I want to create. And remember, small changes create big awareness. You don't need a massive detox, my friend. You don't need to throw your phone away. You just need balance. Okay, I think it's time to recap, my friend. Today, we talked about how your brain gets hooked on constant stimulation, how it slowly disconnects you from yourself and others, why it affects your sense of meaning, and how small changes can bring you back. Look, my dear friend, this is not about being perfect. I'm not perfect with this either. My work requires me to be online. Life is busy. We are all navigating this. But now I'm aware. So I'm more intentional about stepping away sometimes, take breaks, so I can actually reconnect with myself and with others. And that's what this is all about. Not less technology, simply more life balance. Because at the end of the day, no one would look back and says, I wish I spent more time on my phone. But we would say instead, I wish I was more present with myself and with the people I love. And the truth is, those moments are happening right now, my friend, and they're easy to miss. So you don't need to wait. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start noticing now. And as always, if this episode resonates with you, share with someone who needs this awareness. And remember, your mindset is not just what you think, it's where your power begins. And your presence is where that power lives. Have an awesome week, my dear friend. I love you guys.